Gastric cancer, a silent global killer, claims over 700,000 lives each year. It lurks undetected, often striking without warning. This stealthy predator holds the third spot on the grim leaderboard of cancer-related deaths worldwide. From the bustling metropolises to the quiet rural corners, no part of the globe is immune to its deadly reach. Its insidious nature and late-stage detection make it a formidable foe. Early detection and effective treatment remain our best weapons in this ongoing battle. Yet they often fall short in the face of this relentless adversary. We need to delve deeper to understand this beast better if we hope to turn the tide. In this quest for knowledge, our journey takes us to an unexpected place. A place so small, it's invisible to the naked eye. But what if I told you that a tiny bacterium could be a major player in this global health crisis? For years, a puzzling connection has been observed between gastric ulcers and gastric cancer. This mysterious link has intrigued medical professionals and researchers worldwide, leading to numerous hypotheses and studies. To understand this relationship, we first need to distinguish between these two medical conditions. Gastric ulcers, also known as stomach ulcers, are painful sores that form in the lining of the stomach. They're part of a larger group of conditions known as peptic ulcers, which also includes ulcers that form in the upper part of the small intestine. On the other hand, gastric cancer is a type of cancer that starts in the stomach. It's a condition that is often detected late due to the lack of early symptoms, making it a silent but deadly disease. While they are distinct conditions, they share a common playground, the stomach. And interestingly, individuals with a history of gastric ulcers have been found to have a higher risk of developing gastric cancer. Historically, stress and lifestyle factors such as smoking and diet were believed to be the primary causes of gastric ulcers. The prevailing notion was that stress led to increased stomach acid production, which in turn caused these painful sores. This theory was widely accepted for many years, and treatment strategies were developed around it, focusing on reducing stomach acid levels and modifying lifestyle habits. However, despite these treatments, the incidence of gastric ulcers remained high, and their connection to gastric cancer continued to puzzle the medical community. The stress and lifestyle theory couldn't explain why some ulcer patients eventually developed gastric cancer, while others did not. It was clear that a piece of the puzzle was missing, that there was more to this ulcer-cancer connection than met the eye. Enter two Australian scientists who dared to challenge this conventional wisdom. Barry J. Marshall and Robin Warren embarked on a journey that would revolutionize our understanding of gastric ulcers and, by extension, gastric cancer. Their story is one of determination, audacity, and a thirst for truth, which we will explore in the next scene. Barry J. Marshall and Robin Warren, in their relentless pursuit of truth, stumbled upon a spiral-shaped bacterium, Helicobacter pylori. This discovery would mark a turning point in our understanding of gastric health. In the early 1980s, while examining samples from patients with gastritis and peptic ulcers, our two Australian researchers noticed a curious presence. Amidst the inflamed tissues and the damaged stomach lining, they spotted a peculiar bacterium. This was Helicobacter pylori, a spiral-shaped organism that seemed to be surviving comfortably in the acidic environment of the stomach. The presence of this bacterium sparked a new line of inquiry for Marshall and Warren. They theorized that perhaps it was not merely stress or diet that led to gastritis and peptic ulcers, as was commonly believed then. Instead, they suggested that it was this unusual bacterium, Helicobacter pylori, that might be the actual culprit. However, their theory was met with skepticism. The scientific community found it hard to accept that a bacterium could survive the harsh acidic environment of the stomach, let alone be responsible for such common and complex conditions. The duo faced an uphill battle, but they remained undeterred. In an audacious experiment, Dr. Marshall drank a broth teeming with cultured H. pylori, inviting the potential development of an ulcer. This wasn't a dare or a reckless act, but a calculated risk taken in the name of science. Dr. Marshall and his colleague, Dr. Warren, were convinced that this tiny spiral-shaped bacterium was the cause of gastritis and peptic ulcers, conditions traditionally attributed to stress and lifestyle factors. Dr. Bribe, Marshall's self-experimentation was a bold move, one that would have immediate and profound consequences. Within a few days of drinking the bacterial broth, he began to experience nausea, vomiting, and bad breath, all symptoms of acute gastritis. His stomach lining was inflamed, a direct result of the H. pylori invasion. He had effectively given himself gastritis, providing the first concrete evidence of the bacterium's role in the disease. But it didn't stop there. Dr. Marshall continued to monitor his health, tracking the progression of his self-induced condition. His gastritis symptoms persisted for about 2 weeks before subsiding, likely due to his immune system's response to the infection. However, had he let the infection linger, it could have potentially led to the formation of a peptic ulcer, or even worse, gastric cancer, years down the line. This daring experiment was a turning point in their research. It provided the crucial evidence they needed to support their radical hypothesis that H. pylori was not just an innocent bystander in the stomach, but the perpetrator behind a range of gastric diseases. The scientific community, initially skeptical, began to take notice. The implications were far-reaching, hinting at new ways to prevent and treat these common and often debilitating conditions. Their groundbreaking discovery would soon revolutionize the understanding and treatment of gastric diseases. Dr. Marshall's self-experimentation, while risky, paved the way for a seismic shift in our approach to gastric health, highlighting the lengths to which scientists are willing to go in the pursuit of knowledge and the betterment of human health. In 2005, Marshall and Warren were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for their discovery of H. pylori and its role in gastritis and peptic ulcer disease. This prestigious recognition marked more than just personal achievement. It signaled a new era in the understanding and treatment of gastric health. Their groundbreaking work changed the medical landscape. Prior to their discovery, gastric ulcers and cancer were often attributed to stress, spicy food, or simply bad luck. Now, with the identification of H. pylori as a major culprit, prevention and treatment strategies could be radically transformed. The implications of their research were staggering. Imagine for a moment a world in which millions of people suffer from debilitating stomach pain without knowing the true cause. A world where gastric cancer silently takes hold with little to no warning. That was the reality before Marshall and Warren's discovery. Their work ushered in a new era of targeted therapies. Instead of merely treating the symptoms of gastric ulcers with antacids or surgery, doctors could now attack the root cause, H. pylori. This bacterium could be identified through simple tests and eradicated with antibiotics, drastically reducing the risk of ulcers and their potential progression to cancer. But the impact of their discovery didn't stop at the stomach. It opened the door to the understanding that microbes could cause chronic diseases, a concept that has since revolutionized medicine. The story of Marshall and Warren is not just about the discovery of a bacterium. It's about the power of questioning the status quo, of daring to think differently. It's about the courage to test their hypothesis on oneself, risking personal health for the sake of scientific progress. Their dedication, their relentless pursuit of truth, changed the face of medicine and saved countless lives. Their story serves as a profound reminder that science often advances not in small, incremental steps, but in bold, courageous leaps. The story of these two scientists is a testament to the power of curiosity, courage, and conviction in the quest for knowledge and the betterment of human health.